That Dave. Back at the V&A, I'm exploring some of the other exhibits. The ability to study our DNA has the potential to cure diseases. Bento Lab is a DNA lab in a box which could make biohackers of us all.
We borrow a lot of ideas from how Raspberry Pi teaches people how to learn computer coding and all these other great bits. I think we like to think of it as a Duolingo for learning genetics, just how you might learn a new language. I'm really excited about the future of biotech when more different types of people, 16-year-olds to 65-year-olds, can be part of it. Having lots of different voices being enabled to go into biotech through this is really exciting.
Next week is Mental Health Awareness Week in the UK, but of course the problems it's highlighting are of international relevance. And as mental health continues to grab the headlines, we've sent Paul Carter to take a look at some of the latest digital tools that aim to help.
When I first started self-harming, I started to cut myself, and it was just a release, and it was like I was in control of something, and it was like I was matching the pain on the inside as well as on the outside.
There is still a lot of stigma around mental health and people feeling like they've got to be okay and they've got to get on with it.
I've struggled from anxiety for quite a few years since I was a small child because of issues that I faced at school.
If you address that now at school level at the younger years, then hopefully that will build a generation of people who are open to talk about mental health.
And that conversation around mental health could indeed be aided by technology. Often seen as the bogeyman that's harming children and young people, there's a suggestion that technology could now actually pose solutions to those very problems. It's estimated that 1 in 4 adults experience mental health issues each year in the UK, and that 75% of mental illnesses start before a child reaches their 18th birthday. Treatment, though, can be slow.
At present, only 20% of children and young people who have significant mental health problems that would benefit the sort of standard services that we recognise. We really need to think about how we can reach that additional 80%. Some of that needs to come through a greater expansion of convention. But I think we also need to look to new technology to help us.
One group of young people who might face particular challenges around mental health are students. Here at the University of the West of England in Bristol, they've partnered with a platform called Couth to provide an online anonymous counselling and wellbeing service for the young people who study here. It offers online self-help materials and tools and live one-to-one counselling sessions. One student who wanted to remain anonymous has found the pilot very helpful.
I struggled with low mood and anxiety and self-harming in the past, and that was still going on when I started university, and I wasn't really sure how I could really build any therapeutic relationship with someone who I'd never met. But it surprised me that I actually have. Being able to write it down is a lot easier, because sometimes I find it difficult to say what I'm feeling, and I find it easier to put it into words.
Another great plus of online services is the peer-to-peer support available. There are many tools and platforms out there to try and help young people at an early stage, and the anonymity of online is often a big plus. These students found using a bot app a great help. Although users can go to online counsellors, 99% of WISA usage is via an AI chatbot that's overseen by clinical psychologists and which uses natural language processing to drive the conversation. There are also mindfulness exercises and interactive journals which help build emotional...
A lot of people feel like if they're talking to a person then this is like it's a major problem, where if it's a bot they can just talk and talk and talk and it doesn't have too much of an effect.
You still get the sort of support that's been put in place by people who are professionals, but you don't still feel like you're sat there being judged by someone who's listening to what you're saying.
It's meant that I can just go along day by day, having those little moments just to myself where I can go to WISA and just have that little bit of downtime.
Because of the stress that I've been feeling recently, I've suffered from a couple of panic attacks at times where I've not various videos and techniques on the app has helped me to relax and to beat the anxieties that I'm feeling.
Begin by just noticing.
17-year-old Courtney from Greater Manchester started having problems after her parents split up. She found the moderated chats and other guidance tools through the big white wall a great help.
I was really scared at first, like I didn't want other people and I didn't know what was going to happen and I thought I'd be judged because of it, but I'm glad that I did reach out. Group talk abouts with like several people in it, or you can have a personal one with just you and another person. You can have conversations with other people about like things that they've gone through and you can find out their experiences.
It's just something that allows people having to sit and wait.
Without that, I know that I'd be like really stressed and struggling to cope with the pending exams.
Stop me self-harming, they've given me like different techniques.
Digital technology has the potential to be hugely beneficial in reaching children and young people with milder conditions who can take up the benefits of self-management, and particularly at an early point in their experience of a mental health problem.
We all know that the NHS isn't as giving as it would like to be, which means that young people could suffer without